Unibridge, India, on student engagement session with Clemson University, Carolina, USA, as part of our career counseling programs. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our expert counselors from Clemson University, USA, Ms. Sarah Elizabeth Snyder, International Admissions Counselor, Ms. Norma Deluna, Admission Counselor, Mr. Timothy Galbraith, Assistant Director of Admissions. I also take this privilege to welcome Mr. Afsh Aziz, Principal Advisor, Ms. Nupur Anand, Strategic Advisor to the session. I'm also delighted to warmly welcome Ma'am Rohit Tripathi, Head Innovation and Quality Management Department, City International School, Ma'am Kamal Yaganagi, Principal, City International School, Mr. Sushant Srivastav, Headmaster, City International School, Mr. Manoj Verma, Headmaster, City International School, Jaipur, and all our respected teachers, school heads, and principals from various branches of CIS. The purpose behind getting this counseling session conducted is to help our students achieve their goals in securing a better future for themselves. Through this session, we hope our students would be further committed to their pursuits of future goals by diving more deep into different possibilities. We are also very hopeful that this session facilitates their search for the right and the most suitable career option for them that will help them enrich and help them make a difference for themselves in this community. I would now like to hand over the session for further proceedings to our expert counselors. Over to you, ma'am.
I think, Smita ma'am, I'll just come in here and just share a few thoughts. Additionally, welcoming everybody over here. Greetings to all our hosts, Unibridge, Afsha and Nupur, the Clemson representatives, all the wonderful principals with us, administrators. I'd also like to welcome my super hardworking teachers who are also a part of this session and the wonderful students of CIS and NIS. I would just like to share with you that this is an exclusive session for you, dear students, and this is by Clemson University, South Carolina, USA. Clemson is a top 25 public US university. It has an amazing reputation for excellence. It's known worldwide. It also leads the way in providing, you can say, a hands-on education, whether it's a lab, in the arts, or in the field. There is lots to learn from the reps over here. I welcome them. And I thank these Clemson reps with us today, Sarah Elizabeth, Norma Deluna, and in absentia, I'd also like to thank Timothy Galbraith, who could not make it to this session. It's a pleasure having you people over here to help and guide these children from CIS and NIS. To the dear kids, just a word before we actually begin. It is a global economy today. We all understand this. Employers look for employees who have some international experience because this provides a whole new level of global and cultural understanding. We all know, the parents as well as the students at CIS, we believe in creating global citizenship, which must not be limited to our efforts within the four walls of the classroom or inside the school building. Hence, these are our attempts to familiarize you with the many career avenues before you, because the world has really become a very small place for you to explore, whether it is planning to study abroad or whether it's going to work abroad. And the sooner you begin planning, the better for each one of us here. Study and learn differently is something which comes to you in the garb of study abroad opportunity. You tend to gain independence, which you might not be doing once you are inside the country, in close proximity with a family and with your hometown. You definitely learn to be self-reliant. You are, in a way, out to gain greater knowledge. Okay, it's all intercultural experience that comes alongside. And gaining this global mindset actually is something which each and every wise and prudent student must be looking forward to in the current scenario, in the current times, where nothing is undoable, where nothing is unimaginable. Whether it's in work, study, or play, you will be able to use your new global mindset to back up arguments, to inform your own beliefs, and to steer your future. And as I say this, I would also like to tell you once again, it's not unimaginable in whatever setting or background we may be finding ourselves, whether it's a particular or specific family setting, whether it's a certain school setup, nothing is a constraint if you have your aspirations set proper and if you get proper guidance and help. So here we are to help you in a way to understand how you can plan your way ahead. Choose the right university or college as per your need. Understand the scholarships offered, the financial aid out as help for you, and apply and wait. This does not mean in any way, dear parents as well as students, that we take our academics lightly, your board preparations lightly, your preparation for competitions lightly. If not your plan A, this ought to be your plan B. And I'm truly amazed and humbled and really happy getting in touch with Unibridge, Afsha, to have arranged a session with us, and ever so grateful to Clemson University representatives to be with us. And I think this idea can really see some serious extension and very practical inputs you can get straight from the representatives of the Clemson University. So without much ado, over to Norma and Sarah. Thank you so much.
Excuse me, I will just take a few seconds. Thank you so much, Ms. Tripathi and Ms. Bhatt, for your inspirational words, I would say. Dear students, I have a request that while the session is going on, you are free to type your question and answers in, questions in the Q&A tab, and each question will be catered. I am not sure today we'll be able to cater each and every question because we have a huge number of participants. So if it is not catered during the session, definitely you will be getting an answer through an email from Sarah or Norma. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sarah and Norma.
Yes, thank you all so much. We really appreciate this opportunity as well, and those amazing introductions and words of advice. I think that's one of the best introductions we have gotten yet, so thank you all so much. But I am just going to get started by sharing my screen and letting Norma and I introduce ourselves. So my name is Sarah Fulmer. I am the International Admissions Counselor for Clemson University. I've worked for Clemson for about 2 years now, but before that I was also a student, and I graduated back in 2015 with my degree in travel and tourism from Clemson. And so I absolutely love the university. I loved it so much that I decided to come back, and thankfully they decided to hire me. So now I never have to leave. And now I'm going to let Norma introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Norma Deluna, and I am an admissions counselor here at Clemson University as well. I'm going into my second year. I actually grew up 30 minutes from Clemson, born and raised here in South Carolina. I unfortunately did not attend Clemson, but what I always like to say, and I mean this wholeheartedly, if I knew then what I knew now about Clemson, I would most definitely make a different decision in my college selection. So I'm so excited, along with Sarah, to just present to you guys all the great things that we have to tell you about Clemson.
So as we get started, I am going to also just go ahead and put my email in the chat for everybody, because like Afsha said, we might not be able to get to everybody's questions. So please feel free to take my email, send me any questions that we might not get to today. But this slide that y'all are looking at is a picture of part of our campus, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. Clemson is a very rural, true college town, so we are surrounded by forests, farmlands, and lakes. You can actually see Lake Hartwell in the top of this picture that borders about 100 miles of our campus. And you can see some of our athletic facilities as well as academic buildings and residence halls in this photo. But just so you can get an idea of exactly where Clemson University is located, we have this map for you. And so our university is right underneath the center of that tiger paw. We are located in the city of Clemson in the state of South Carolina. And like I said, very rural setting, but very close to urban areas as well. We are only 45 minutes from Greenville, South Carolina, which is a major city, and then only 2.5 hours from Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Columbia, South Carolina. So plenty of access to these cities. And we do have an international airport in both Greenville, Charlotte, and Atlanta. And we actually offer a free shuttle to both the Greenville and Charlotte airports for our students over major holiday breaks. We don't offer one to Atlanta just because if you've ever been in Atlanta traffic, you would totally understand why. It is a nightmare sometimes and we don't want students missing their flights. But that being said, if you ever wanted to fly in or out of Atlanta, we do have a lot of students from that area, so it would be very easy to find a ride there as well.
So in addition to being ranked a top national public university for the past 12 years, Clemson has been catching the attention of the world and several other impressive rankings for academics and student life that definitely put our university among the nation's most competitive institutions. To name a few, we're consistently highly ranked between #1 and #2 in best career services. And Sarah will most definitely touch on that here in the next few slides. Another thing that I like to point out as well is that we were ranked as #11 as the happiest students on campus. And of course, our safety for you guys on campus is mainly our priority as well. And as of 2018, we were ranked #1 as the safest campus in the nation.
Sorry, I was trying to answer some of those questions in the chat. But this next slide is going to be Clemson by the numbers, just so you can get an idea of what Clemson looks like number-wise. And so we have a total enrollment of just over 26,000 students. 20,000 or 21,000 of those are going to be at the undergraduate level, and then 5,600 about is what we have for our graduate student enrollment. We do have a pretty even split, 50-50 male to female ratio on our campus. And then in the middle of the slide, you can see our 2020 freshman profile. For fall of 2020, we received 28,600 applications, but we were able to accept over 17,000 of those students. So we do have well over a 50% acceptance rate. However, we enroll about 4,200 to 4,300 students every fall semester. Now, out of the students that we are able to admit, over half of them are in the top 10% of their high school graduating class. Their average SAT was a 1260 to 1410. Average ACT was a 28 to 32. But that being said, all of this admissions information is for our 2020 class, and our 2021 profile, which hopefully will be coming out soon, is probably going to be looking a lot different because we were test optional for 21 applicants, and we got well over 47,000 applications this year. So this freshman profile is probably going to look completely different. But one other thing that this slide shows you is that Clemson is committed to student success, both inside and outside of the classroom. We do have over 80 different undergraduate majors and minors that you could choose from. All of these programs can be viewed on our website at clemson.edu/degree. And then our 10 most popular majors are going to be marketing, mechanical engineering, management, industrial engineering, computer science, biological sciences, psychology, accounting, parks, recreation, and tourism management, and nursing. So that kind of gives you an idea of our most popular majors on campus. But like I said, we're committed to student success both inside and outside of the classroom. And the best evidence of this is seen from our small class sizes and our low student to faculty ratio. So we have a student to faculty ratio of 16:1, and then a median class size of 19. You can also see that our graduation and retention rates are both extremely high. We have an 85% graduation rate and a 94% retention rate, and both of these numbers are well above the national average for public universities in the United States.
So like Sarah mentioned earlier, your success as a student here at Clemson is important to us. And one way that we would like to support you academically at Clemson is going to be through our Academic Success Center. More than 50% of our freshmen at Clemson are going to use the Academic Success Center during their first semester. So you may be wondering, what exactly is the Academic Success Center and what does it have to offer to you? Well, for starters, we're going to offer some skill development services. One thing is that we have academic coaching, which is by appointment, and this is going to focus on learning your personal success strategies. And in these strategies workshops, they're very interactive, so they help you as a student sharpen your thinking and your confidence, just to name a couple of ways that you'll be helped in that area. Other course specific services, we have something called peer assisted learning. This is led by a student who took a notoriously hard Clemson class, made an A, and they're essentially going to be your tutor in that class. They are retaking that class with you, so if you have any issues, any questions, or if you need any additional help, they are going to be there to help you to ensure your success in that classroom. We do have tutoring available, and we have a tutoring matching service. So if you don't already have a tutor through a PAL leader, then we'll be able to match you with a tutor that will be able to help you, and again, ensure that success in the classroom as well. As a reminder, more than 90% of our first year students at Clemson reported that they had a big commitment to their academic success at Clemson. So our Academic Success Center is going to ensure that success for you guys.
So like Norma mentioned earlier, Clemson does have the #2 career services office in the nation. And this is something that I highly encourage students to take advantage of all 4 years at Clemson. I know a lot of people think about career services and they're like, oh, I'll just wait till I'm ready to graduate and then they'll help me do that big job search before I leave Clemson. But they can do so much more than that. Our career services can help you find part-time jobs, internships, and co-ops both on and off campus. We also offer annual career fairs where over 5,500 companies show up to recruit our students. And then you can see some of our top employers include Michelin, BMW, Fluor, Milliken, Bosch, Scana, and Duke Energy. And the great thing about these companies too is that they all have facilities within a 45-minute drive of our campus. So they're great places for those internships, co-ops, and part-time jobs as well. But Clemson's Career Services offers so much more than just that job search, like I mentioned. We offer things like majors and career planning, diversity resources, and so many workshops like tailoring your resume, Career Fair Inside Edition, crafting your cover letter, interviewing skills, et cetera, et cetera. So like I said, definitely take advantage of this service all 4 years at Clemson. And you can see that they are extremely successful with job placement as well. We have a 96% employment rate of Clemson graduates. About 45% of our students do stay and find careers within the state of South Carolina. However, 54% find careers all over the United States, and even 1% do find careers international. So you can really take your Clemson degree with you no matter where you want to end up.
So like Sarah mentioned, there's a lot of opportunity for you guys here at Clemson. One thing that I like to highlight is going to be the research that we have to offer at Clemson. We are an R1 research institution, and you can start and get involved in research as early as your freshman year in creative inquiries. These creative inquiries hold more than 1,900 students that participate in over 700 projects annually. These projects can be within your area of interest, within your major, or maybe outside your major, depending on where your interests lie. Many of these opportunities will allow you to present at regional and national conferences as well with the research that you are conducting here at Clemson. These are team-based investigations led by faculty mentors as well. And one of my favorite creative inquiries that I always love to talk about, if you've ever seen or had Oreos, that stick and seal packaging that we have, that is based off a creative inquiry here at Clemson University. So the next time you see or think about Oreos, think about Clemson, because again, we had something to contribute there with that wonderful snack.
So before I talk about this slide, I did want to address a couple questions in the Q&A because we have gotten some questions about a medical track at Clemson, and we do have a pre-med advising track. So you would come to Clemson and pick a major like biological sciences, health science, something like that. And we have advisors that are going to make sure you have all the prereqs and classes necessary to get into medical school afterwards. But Clemson itself does not have a medical school on our campus. But now I'm going to talk about inclusive excellence, and diversity and inclusion are obviously important conversations to be having right now, not just on college campuses, but across the country and around the world, which is why Clemson is very proud of the fact that Insight into Diversity magazine has listed us as a diversity champion each of the last several years. And this is because of our efforts in trying to serve underrepresented populations. So Clemson aspires to create a diverse community that welcomes people of all different races, cultures, socioeconomic levels, abilities. And a couple of ways that we create this community is through the Harvey and Lucinda Gantt Multicultural Center and through programming like the International Festival. So the Gantt Multicultural Center the festival is an annual event that symbolizes Clemson's commitment to celebrating identities and cultures from around the world. It's a highly anticipated event for campus and community members that we invite to attend as well, and includes culturally based foods as well as entertainment and activities. And I know it was always one of my favorite events on campus. I had it down on my calendar every single year, and I was always out there just enjoying the experience and meeting new people. And then the Harvey and Lucinda Gantt Multicultural Center, it's a part of the Division of Inclusion and Equity, and they're committed to creating diverse learning environments that enhance the intercultural competence of our students.
So student life is absolutely my favorite aspect, especially when talking about Clemson. Aside from the academic aspect at Clemson, studying, working hard, we also want you to get involved on campus. And I highly encourage that you guys, whether it's Clemson or another college or university that you are attending. I like to talk about Clemson and student life in that we're most definitely not a suitcase school where students are packing up and leaving on the weekend just because students are staying here on the weekend, because there's always something going on, whether that is through clubs and organizations, our athletics, or outdoor surroundings. Sarah did mention earlier, we are on or bordering 100 miles of Lake Hartwell with 1,400 campus acres on our campus. So there's a lot of land to explore, discover, especially in terms of hiking, since we are in the mountains. I've personally hiked those trails myself, and they're absolutely beautiful. So if you're ever up here, most definitely take advantage of that. Working our way back up, going into athletics, we do have 19 NCAA Division I athletic teams, which students do have access to those games and get free football tickets. We are ranked number 3 in Everyone Plays Intramural Sports. So if you're looking to play at that club or intramural level, most definitely participate at that level, especially if you're not trying to get into that competitive level like the Division I sports that we have on campus. With our clubs and organizations, we have over 550 clubs and organizations. And if there's something organization that's already in existence at Clemson and you want to have its presence on our campus, you will most definitely have the support to have that club on campus. All you need is the support of like 5 students and a faculty member, and that club is present on our campus. But those clubs have a range of different things: Greek life, multicultural organizations, religious service, academic, you name it, it is there. It's my favorite thing about Clemson as well, in that you can make it however big or however small you want it to be. Clemson can feel really, really big, and you're joining all the clubs and organizations. Maybe you're going to a lot of games and doing a lot of hiking, then yeah, Clemson's gonna feel pretty big to you guys. But if you're joining maybe some clubs that fit your interests, maybe some of them is just service-based or academic-based, maybe going to a couple of games and just meeting your group of people, then Clemson's going to feel like this small, cozy community. Either way, you can mold your experience to Clemson uniquely to however you want it.
All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on this slide, but I do want to mention that all of our freshmen are required to live on campus for your first year. But you can see that there are multiple residence halls available for freshmen on both the east and west side of campus, as well as in Douthit Hills, which is one of our newest residential communities on campus. Clemson does also offer living learning communities, and they provide a holistic approach to student development and learning through academic partnerships, service learning opportunities, and research initiatives. So they are uniquely designed community facilities, and they have meaningful connections between students, faculty, and staff through these additional programming and opportunities. You can see some examples that we have here are RISE, which is our Residents in Science and Engineering, CUBS, which is Clemson University Business Students, ROTC, which is our ROTC programs on campus. And those are just a few examples because in total, Clemson currently has 23 living learning communities that are home to more than 1,500 students on our campus. And then the housing process, very easy. The time slot that you are going to get to choose your housing is dependent on when you submit your admissions application. So if you are very interested in Clemson, you think this might be one of your top choices, definitely apply as early as you can because it'll make your life a lot easier when it comes to choosing housing. And we do have a roommate matching survey as well that's going to pair you with someone that's like-minded. We call it like the eHarmony of roommate surveys. So you're gonna live with someone that likes to go to bed at the same time as you, has the same study habits, things like that. And then there are resident assistants or RAs on every hall to help with any issues that may come up and do special programming so that you can connect with the students on your hall. And then for move-in day, there are gonna be tons of faculty, staff, and students there to help you move into your residence hall.
Sorry, I forgot I muted myself. I apologize. Now going over some important admissions dates and deadlines for you guys. These are most definitely some dates to keep in mind. August 1st is the absolute earliest that you can apply to Clemson, and that is when our application opens. So we're a little bit close, we're getting there, almost a little bit less than a month away. And December 1st is our priority notification deadline. We do not participate in any kind of early action, early decision. Again, we just participate in that priority notification deadline. So what does that mean for you guys? Well, for starters, you will be guaranteed an admissions decision by mid-February, and then you're given additional time until December 31st to have a completed application. May 1st is the final deadline to apply for fall entry, so definitely keep that in mind. And then also October 1st is that final deadline to apply for spring entry as well.
All right, so now we get into probably the most important information, and that is what Clemson requires for admission. I know there's a lot of information on this slide. I'm going to give you even more than what's on here, so please let me know if you have any questions about it. But this is basically going to walk you through the application process, tell you exactly what you need to apply. So the first and obvious step is going to be a completed application form. We do have 3 different applications to choose from though, and it's a Clemson specific one, and then we also accept Coalition and Common App. All 3 ask the exact same questions and give us the exact same information. So we have absolutely no preference as to which one you fill out. It is totally up to you. But all 3 of these applications are going to have a $70 application fee. But we've built in questions to the financial aid section to where if you fill those out and you qualify for a fee waiver, it will automatically be applied to your application. And then all 3 of the applications are also going to ask you for 2 choices of major. And that is because we have some limited space majors here. 3 most popular ones are nursing, health science, and interested in down as your first choice major. But try not to put 2 limited space majors, try not to put the same thing twice, and definitely don't leave that second choice blank, because if you do any of those things, it does basically cut your chances of being admitted to Clemson in half. Because if that first choice is full, we want to be able to consider you and accept you under that second choice major. Next thing to do is going to be to submit your official SAT or ACT scores. However, we are test optional for fall 22 applicants. So we made that choice definitely out of necessity because we do realize that some students still don't have access to these tests. However, if you are able to take an SAT or ACT, we do highly encourage it and ask you to get an official copy sent to us directly from ACT or College Board, because it does give us one more thing to look at during the review process, and it will only help you be admitted to Clemson. If you send us a score and it ends up hurting your chances of being admitted, we will just kind of automatically switch you over to test optional and not let that test hurt you. So application, SAT or ACT score, the next step is going to be to submit an official English proficiency score. So we do accept TOEFL, IELTS, and Duolingo. Again, all three pretty much give us the same information, so we don't have a preference as to which one you take, but we do have minimum score requirements for these tests. So minimum TOEFL is an 80, minimum IELTS is a 6.5 with no sub-score lower than a 6, and the minimum Duolingo is a 105. The next thing we're going to need from you are your high school grades. In the past, we have required an official transcript to be sent directly from your high school. However, this year we did have a change to this policy, and we are allowing self-reported grades. So once you submit the application, you're going to get a link to your portal, which will have a link to the page where you can put in all of your self-reported grade information. So make sure you have an official copy, an unofficial copy of your transcript available so that you can put all of that course and grade level information in without any issues. I will say, since this is brand new for us, we still don't have all of the information. We're still working through this process, but we'll have all of the information available for you on our website before the application opens for this fall. So once we have all of this information, your application is complete and ready to be reviewed by us or by me. And we do have a holistic review approach at Clemson. So there are a lot of different factors that we do look at, like all of your academic information, that major that I was telling you about, any extracurricular or co-curricular activities that you may have. But the clearest and most important indicator of a student's fit at Clemson for us is going to be that high school academic performance. So a cumulative GPA, any rigorous classes that you're taking, so AP, IB, dual enrollment, A-levels, things like that, and then that SAT or ACT score if you are able to submit one. So that is our entire admissions process. And again, I know that was a lot of information, so please put any questions you have about it in the Q&A.
So we still want you guys to stay connected with us, especially visit our campus virtually. We do have other virtual engagement opportunities that are available to you guys via our admissions website that you see there at the very bottom that is underlined. We offer weekly virtual visits with student tour guides. So not only are you getting more admissions information from us, admissions counselors, but you're also getting the perspective from students who are current students at Clemson. These are offered Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we do a video or have video overviews of Clemson's campus as well for you to view. We do have Zoom office hours with admissions counselors and a live online chat that I encourage you to take advantage of, especially if you have any questions about the admissions process, or if you just want to have a quick conversation with the admissions counselor, definitely join those. Those are almost every day from 10:30 to 12 and 1 to 3 o'clock. And then we will host other college and topic specific sessions as well.
So there are a couple more ways to get connected to Clemson and just stay in touch with us, one of which is joining our mailing list. So you can sign up at the link on our web or on this slide. And if you just go to our website and search Connect with Clemson, that'll also bring this form up for you to fill out. But it's going to be the best way to let us know you're interested, stay in touch, and get updates from us. And then, of course, you can always follow us on social media as well. It's probably the best and most fun way to stay in touch with Clemson and just see what's going on campus. But that is all the information that Norma and I have for you. We are now going to try to go through all those questions in the Q&A and get those answered for y'all. I will start by talking a little bit more about our business program because I did see a couple questions about that. And Clemson has an amazing College of Business. It is the #1 business program in the state of South Carolina, and it's also ranked in the top 40 nationally as well. And within that college, we do have 6 different majors that you can choose. And they are accounting, finance, marketing, management, economics, and graphic communication. So if you're interested in any of those, you would apply as business, because all of our students actually come in as what we call pre-business. You get a good base knowledge in all of those areas. And then after your freshman year is when you can pick one of those specific majors to continue in. And then let's see. We did have a question about, is Clemson University approved by MCI or not? I'm not exactly sure what MCI stands for. Anybody? Rhea, if you can just let me know what MCI is, I would be more than happy to answer that question for you. And then we did get a lot of questions about scholarships and cost of attendance as well. So the total cost of attendance for Clemson for 1 year is about $51,400. That does include tuition, fees, housing, a meal plan, and then estimated cost of books and supplies. So it is a total cost for 1 year. But that being said, unfortunately, Clemson does not offer any academic scholarships or financial aid for international students. So my best piece of advice is to definitely look into outside scholarships. We do have a list on our website and a search engine link as well if you wanted to go in and look to see if there were any outside scholarships that you could apply for. We can also help students find part-time jobs or internships both on and off campus to help supplement that cost of attendance. Some of our programs on campus do have specific scholarships for incoming freshmen. My best example of that is if you are interested in business, we do have a Lyceum Scholars program that you could apply for. You are required to take certain classes. You would come out with a minor in political theory, but they do offer, I think, up to $10,000 in scholarship. And then finally, you are welcome to bring in any private or outside loans to Clemson as well. What do you mean by Greek life? So we have fraternities and sororities on our campus. Norma, I don't know if you know how to describe Greek life a little bit better than I would.
So I'm gonna do my best attempt as well. With Greek life at Clemson, they're essentially, they're essentially like clubs. And these clubs are gonna be all male and all female, and they're all, each club is gonna have a different cause. Some may be for encouraging students to read more at the elementary level. Others may be community service based by, helping the food pantries in our community and that kind of thing. But within these clubs, they do other group type activities, such as maybe they'll take a trip and go camping together, or host events and formals where you get dressed up and you just hang out with your friends all day. Essentially, these clubs that are either all male or all female are something that you essentially apply for. But that you don't necessarily have to participate in those to be involved at Clemson. Like I mentioned earlier, there's over 550 clubs and organizations. So aside from that Greek life, there's other things that you can be a part of as well, especially if they fit within your areas of interest, whether it's within your major, outside your major. I hope that explanation kind of worked.
I think it was great. Thank you. Let's see.
I think the next one is about artificial intelligence. So
I would say Clemson, I think, has a couple different degree programs that would prepare you for a job in AI or the IT field. We've got an entire College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Science. So we've got a couple different programs that might fit, like computer engineering, computer science. I know there's another computer one. Computer and Information Systems, I believe, is another one that we offer. So all of these are going to be very similar, but also a little bit different. So I would definitely encourage you to go to our website and check out those 3 programs specifically. You can find all of the curriculum for each of them on our website. and kind of figure out which one might be best for a career in what you're interested in.
The next one is about if we chose defense as a career. I don't think Clemson has any defense option.
I don't believe so either.
Okay. The next one is what I can do from 10th if I want to see me as a developer, maybe Android developer with, okay. The next question is about the student wants to know if he wants to pursue as a developer, maybe Java developer or C++, what can he do after 10th? Is there any option after 10th standard?
Like after 10th grade year?
After 10th grade, yes.
So as I say, the great thing about Clemson is we don't require any specific classes or curriculum to go into any of our majors on campus. So I would say just pursue the classes that you're interested in, that you need to graduate from high school, because that's really all we need from you is for you to meet your high school graduation requirements. And then once you get to Clemson, we'll start you off at the base we need to get you to that Java, that C++, all of that stuff.
The next one is if the student wants to do interior designing.
Yes. So unfortunately, Clemson does not have an interior designing major. We do have architecture as a major, which I believe has some interior design classes. So that might be something to look into, but it is going to be more of the art and the engineering side of architecture.
The next one is about the famous courses, the signature programs of Clemson. I think Nupur is typing the answer for it. Yes, Nupur?
No, I'm not. Somebody else is typing, I guess.
Okay, is that Norma?
I'm trying to field some of the questions, yes.
Okay, okay, that's please keep doing that. Thank you so much.
I can talk about a little bit what Clemson is kind of famous for as far as our programs, but we've mentioned them already, and that is going to be engineering and business, I think, is what we're really known for. We have the #1 engineering and business programs in the state of South Carolina. Engineering is ranked in the top 30 nationally, and then business in the top 40 nationally. So those are really, I would say, our top academic programs.
Thank you. The next one, I think the student wants to ask about the Fulbright scholarship programs for international students.
So like I mentioned, unfortunately, we don't have any scholarships. So there is not a way to get a full ride to Clemson, but all of those little things I mentioned, like the outside scholarships, the departmental scholarships, private loans and everything, maybe even a part-time job, those things together might be able to cover the total cost of attendance at Clemson. But Clemson itself does not have any scholarship to offer.
The next one, I think it is the question from the same student about MCI, Medical Council of India. So is Clemson approved by Medical Council of India? I don't think so, because the student has to.
I'd say I've never heard of that. And since we don't have a medical school on our campus, I would assume that we're not.
Okay. MCI is for Indian medical schools, not for US or any other country.
So the student has to appear in the entrance exam for MCI once he or she is back from any other country.
Yes.
Career orientation, you have already explained. Are your course is professionally accredited? Oh my God. Yes, of course. I wanted to be an IPS. I think
you have to stay in India only.
Yes. Okay, the next question is about extracurricular. Are extracurriculars important? I think the student wants to know if he or she would be getting some credits for extracurricular activities.
So we don't award any type of like transfer or academic credit for extracurricular activities, but if you list them on the application, that will be something that we take into consideration when reviewing all of your information. So like I said, we do have a holistic review approach. All of those little things do help, but the most important thing for us is going to be that high school academic performance.
Okay. Next question is from Radhika Pandey. Do we have courses for astrophysics at Clemson?
So we do. We have a major in physics. It's in our College of Science. And I believe astrophysics is one of the concentration areas that students can go into.
That's wonderful. So Radhika, this is the best place for you to go, I think. Next one is medical career. So we have already covered. Okay. The next one is your college fulfilled to get job in a company okay, the next question is about the job placements. Do you have any placement tie-up with Google or Apple?
I'm sure we do. I don't know of any off the top of my head of specific students, but one of the great things that our website does is show you exactly where some of our students have ended up based on their specific major. So if you're interested in things like computer engineering, computer science, mechanical engineering, you can go to clemson.edu/degrees, click on that specific program, and that page is going to tell you everything we have to offer at Clemson. And then again, some of the top employers for our graduates and where they've ended up.
Okay, the next question is about any scope in paleontology?
Clemson does not have a paleontology program, no.
Okay. Medical we have already covered. Okay, what is the next is for admission requirements?
So that's a lot of information, but the short answer to that is completed application, official high school academic record, and then official SAT or ACT score if you want to submit one, because we are optional this year, and then official English proficiency test. Those are all the things that we need for you to get admitted to Clemson.
Next is for robotics.
So again, we have so many different types of engineering, being mechanical, bioengineering, computer engineering again. So I'm sure within one of those, we do have a pathway to robotics and some robotics courses within that curriculum.
Okay. Umanshi Pandey wants to know about the career options in music at Clemson.
So we do have a Bachelor's of Arts or a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in art, which would kind of encompass any music path that somebody would want to take.
Next is about fifth generation language in computer.
These specific computer questions are really getting me. Again, I would definitely look into computer science, computer engineering.
We need a computer science faculty to answer these questions.
Yes.
Okay. Next one is courses of management.
Yes, so that's one of our programs or specific majors within the College of Business is management.
And do we have courses in mass communication?
We do. We have a communication degree at Clemson, and it is going to be that mass general education curriculum.
Okay. The next one is about genomic engineering course available. Very specific. Wow.
Very specific. It's not one of the ones that we don't call it that by name anyways. I'm not exactly sure what genomic engineering is, to be honest with y'all. But we do have bioengineering, which is like biomedical engineering. So that might be closest.
Yeah. I think this will be covered in biotechnology. The next one is what is the average package that the student of CSE gets? I think the student wants to know about the salary package that the student will be getting after completing his or her undergraduate program.
Okay, I was gonna say I think average starting salary obviously is going to be different for every major at Clemson. So I would again go to that clemson.edu/degrees page. That information might be on there, but if it's not, there is going to be basically like an academic advisor or contact for each of our degree programs. So definitely shoot them an email and ask what that starting salary is.
Okay. And a question that comes to you straight away. What makes Clemson different from other universities?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'd say I will try to answer this. I'll let Norma chime in as well if she wants to. But I think one thing that I feel like we say all the time, and that's really hard to communicate to students, but also sounds super cheesy, is that Clemson is a big family. Everybody is so nice on campus. We all say that we bleed orange, and it's just this feeling that you have when you step onto Clemson's campus that is hard to explain, especially virtually, until students get here. And they, as soon as they step on our campus, they're like, I get it. I know what you mean.
Definitely agree with that, with the concept of you being with a family. You know, whether you're coming from like me 30 minutes away or you're coming across the world, you're going to have that sense of community while you're here at Clemson. Aside from, you know, easy, you're going to feel like you're a part of the family. One of my favorite things about Clemson is when you think about college, you know, you think about you're going here for 4 years. And the big question is going to be, after your 4 years, what are you going to do? What's going to be your job after you graduate? And my favorite thing about Clemson, and this is something that I've witnessed myself with just students that I've worked with in the past here at Clemson, is that they set you up for success because you have that hands-on real world experience. Yes, you're in the classroom, you're learning, you're taking your exams, but aside from that, your professors want to see you be successful, whether that's through the research that you're doing here at Clemson, taking advantage of the various internship opportunities that are available to you through our career services. You're going to have that experience and you're going to be prepared after your 4 years at Clemson. So I think that's the most unique thing about our college and university, because more often than not, students don't know what direction to go after they graduate. And here at Clemson, you are most definitely, again, set up for that success.
The next one is courses in artificial intelligence or cybersecurity.
Yep. So again, those computer science, computer engineering, computer information systems are going to have all of those courses. They're just slightly different programs. So definitely look into them and see which curriculum is going to fit your ultimate goal.
Yash Vardhan Singh wants to ask you if they will be doing their undergraduate degree from Clemson. So what would be the campus placement probability?
So like after graduation with the job and everything?
Yes.
Okay, so we do have a 96% employment rate. So 96% of our students after graduation either have a full-time job or are pursuing like a master's or PhD program. So you're gonna have a very great chance of getting a placement after you leave Clemson. And again, some of our top employers include BMW, Michelin, Bosch, Scana, Milliken, lots of great companies.
Okay. I'm skipping few questions because we have already covered that in the presentation, and students will be sharing the presentation with Ms. Tripathi, and if you want, you can request her to share that presentation with you. Will that be fine, Ms. Tripathi?
Yes, definitely. Thanks in advance for that.
Thank you. Next question is about hotel management.
So I would definitely apply to Clemson as a park recreation and tourism management student. I know that seems like it wouldn't be fitting, but that was actually my major, and my concentration was travel and tourism management, which is really all about the hospitality industry. We learned a lot about hotel management, tourism marketing, and things like that. So I think that would be a really great fit.
Okay.
I did see one question about what does it mean by ROTC and living learning communities. Living learning communities at Clemson are essentially housing on campus with students in which they're sharing the same interests as you. So for example, we have a living learning community for students who are engineering majors. So you will be living with students who are fellow engineering majors that have the same interest as you do within engineering. We have, for example, another one for our students who are in veterinary science. you're living with students who are only interested in that major. You have the same exact likes and interests. We even have one that's for wellness, for those students who are interested in staying healthy and being active. Again, like Sarah said, there's a lot of different options for you to have, you know, that diversity and where you're going to live on campus your first year. And you don't necessarily have to live in a living learning community, but that's just, for example, if you're wanting, again, to be in a community of students who share the exact same interests and aspirations as you do.
Thank you, Norma. The next question is about the courses that the Clemson offer for science and technology and the fee structure as well.
So for the fee structure, again, the total cost for 1 year is about $51,400. That does include tuition, fees, housing, meal plan, and books and supplies. So it is a total cost for 1 year. And then the course, what, CA again? What is that?
For science and technology.
Oh, science and technology. Yeah, so we have a College of Science. So things like biological science, chemistry, genetics, physics, all of that housed in there. And then we've got the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Science. So tons of science and technology options on our campus. Definitely check out all those majors. And again, see what might be best for your ultimate career goals.
So I think we have covered most of the questions, and the questions that were repetitive, I did not read them out. Anupur, can you see any other question that we can cater as of now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we have other questions, but we can answer that, you know, later. A lot of questions I can see for MBBS.
Yes, and for CA as well. I guess it is for chartered accountant.
Right, right.
Okay, so Ms. Tripathi and Ms. Bhatt, do you have any question for Sarah and Norma? Please feel free if you have any question.
So I personally feel that the kids and their inputs and the questions could actually get us all the understandings that were much needed. And I'd like to just thank Sarah in advance for in future handling the queries via mail that you might be getting as you shared your mail ID. I'd also like to request all the educators and all the teachers and students, if something is left to be asked, if there's things that cross your mind later, and after we share the presentation once again with the school leaders, please feel free to get in touch with Sarah through the mail and get your queries addressed. I personally appreciate this session and the presentation that's shared by Norma and Sarah. It was pretty comprehensive. We got to know about the university. We got to know all the admission modalities, the requirements, the courses offered, and insight into the various other, you can say, amenities or the wonderful environment that the university provides. Including your stressing on that feeling of community, you know, that sense of comfort when you choose a destination for study, which is miles away from your home. And that's something which is engaging a lot of intercultural interactions also. So that was really heartening to hear that this is one area where you see Clemson different from the other universities. And for the students, once again, it was really nice to hear from you in the form of the different queries you had, even if they were naive, innocent, even if it showed you are not very well informed. The underlying idea behind this session is this only: to grant you more awareness, to you be exposed to the wonderful array of opportunities at your door, and everything is just a hands away. There are people to guide you. There are opportunities waiting for you to be explored. With proper information, you can just go ahead and be ready to explore the world. For all those who were not those serious attendees, again, a word of advice. These sessions are there, as I said before, and as I'll reiterate, to generate awareness. And we will have guests coming with us, just like the wonderful people we had today, sharing their insights, the university's details, because these people are part of the university. They are living the university life. They can be the best representatives of the university. They can get you the best insights. So it's nothing else but a forum for amazing interaction for you all. If you understand, it's for your benefit. I'm sure all the school leaders will go out and explain this to all the attendees, to all the kids, and the future sessions are going to be even more wonderful. I believe this is the time where we can see the close of this session, because we have parallel classes running at this time. And we made this space for the Clemson University and the reps to be interacting with our kids. It's the daytime in India, and we are running normal routine school classes. So once again, thanks to both of you. Thanks to Afsha and Nupur for handling and arranging it so well. Looking forward to more interaction and to getting our queries addressed, if any, if they reach you. Over to Sumita ma'am now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And on behalf of City International School, we would like to express our deep thanks, gratitude, and utmost appreciation to Ms. Sarah, Ms. Norma, to conduct the session with us, with our children, and giving them an insight into different opportunities that might hold for them. Like they must be various queries. You answered all of them, satisfying them, and making their vision much more clear to take it up very confidently in their near future to come. At the same time, I would like to thank the students and the parents attending the session with utmost sincerity and seriousness. And we promise to bring you more such enriching and engaging counseling sessions so that you are able to make a correct decision in your life. And just with this message, we would like to conclude the message for the students. Whatever you decide in your future to do, make sure that makes you happy. And then go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life the way you have imagined. Thank you so much for joining our session this morning. And we would be really looking forward to more such sessions, Roli ma'am. Thank you very much for arranging this and giving us the space to be with the esteemed panelists here. Thank you, Norma ma'am, Sarah, and thank you, Afsha ma'am, and Global ma'am for being with us. With that, we all may sign off. Thank you, dear students, and see you in the next session very soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, dear students, and thank you so much, Ms. Tripathi and Ms. Bhatt, to make out the space for this session during your timetable. So thanks a lot, and we will look forward to have more sessions with City International School. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Nupur.
So much.
Thank you.
We'll be sharing all the information of this session with you, Sarah, and with you, Roli ma'am, as well. Thank you, everyone.
Have a wonderful day.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.